Welcome back once again, YouTube. In today's tutorial, we want to work on the church flyer artwork. Will it really be worth your time? Yes, we are going to learn how to combine images. We are going to learn how to color grade. We are also going to learn how to effectively use different merging modes and combining different backgrounds, blending them together to professionally work on a design work. So I'll encourage you to stick to the very end of this video because you are going to really learn a lot. Now, to begin, the very first thing we want to do is to create a new document. So we use the plus icon right here. We click on this, which opens up a pop-up dialog box where you specify the name of the design. So I'm basically going to go ahead and give this church flyer design. All right. Then with the dimension, we are going to be using a custom dimension of width 210 millimeters and a height of 270 millimeters. Then with the resolution, always leave it at 300. All right, when done with that, you simply go ahead and click on OK. Now this opens up the workspace where we are going to have all our design resources and any other elements work within. So the very next thing we need to do is to create a background. All right, so we use the rectangle tool. You move to your rectangle tool, click on that, double click and drag. Then move to the property bar once again and specify the width being 210. And a height of 270. All right, press enter on your keyboard and P to center align it to the page size. Now, every time you create an object, it comes with an outline. So we need to take this off. So you move to the property bar once again, click on this drop down arrow and choose none. With that being done, we are going to go ahead and apply a color to our background. So we use the interactive fill tool. We click on this, double click the bottom and drag to the top. By default, applying a color of black and white. So we need to change this. We are going to be using a color combination of black and red. So we click on the white color box. All right. Then you click on the color red on your color palette. By clicking on that, it applies a gradient fill of this black and red to your background. So the very next thing we're going to do, guys, is to import in our design resources. So we use a shortcut Ctrl+I or simply click on this very option here, which says import this very icon. By clicking on that, this takes you to your storage. All right, so we are going to be using these resources for our design work. By selecting them Ctrl+A, you click on the import option right here. All right, position them on the workspace nicely. Great. Now the very next thing we are going to do is to blend the images with our background. So we are going to start off first with this image. All right, we are going to start off first with this image. Now remember, anytime you are working on design, you want to consider the message you are trying to communicate. All right, before ghost. So this image depicts an exact replica of ghost. All right, so we want to work with images and any other elements that really communicates the idea. So we need to fade this very part. So we use a transparency tool right here. Double click and drag. Remember, black face and the white reveals. All right, then you drag this top a bit to balance that very well with the background. When done with that, you right click on it and select power clip. Now this arrow, as you select power clip, yes, then you click on the background. All right, guys, this is what you are going to have at the end. Now to edit this power clip, simply right click on it and choose edit power clip. Select this. All right, select this and position it a bit up. All right, this looks excellent. This looks great. Okay, now we are going to position this very ribbon right here. Okay, with this particular image, we are not going to be using all this, so we need to crop out this very option. So we go to the crop tool right here on the board on the tools bar. All right, double click and drag and make sure the coordinates. The object falls within the coordinates, the frame of the crop area, and double click on this. All right, so this way it crops out the parts you want. Then we're going to position this right here. Position it right here. All right, scale this up a bit. Then we want to apply a blur effect to this. So you go to effect, blur, version blur. All right. So 17.8, let's see how that goes. All right, we need to reduce that a bit. All right, I think this is cool. This is perfect. Then you right click on this and choose power clip. All right, position it right here into the background. This looks good. Now the very next image we are going to bring into our design is the pasta. So we need to position this right here. Now, positioning of images on your design is another key thing to take note of. All right, you must know how to well position your image. All right, so you right click on this as well and choose power clip right into this. Okay, then we need to adjust this a bit. So you right click and edit power clip. The contrast brightness, we need to adjust it a bit. So you go to effect, adjust, image adjustment lab. All right, I'm going to reset this, increase the contrast a bit and the brightness to a bit. All right, okay, this looks perfect. Okay, when done with that, you simply click finish. Simply click finish right there and you are good to go. Now the very next thing we're going to do is to type in this before brushstroke. All right, then we're going to be using a font called Magenta. If you do notice, I do use this font often in most of my works. Okay, then Ctrl K to break these two apart. Let's apply a color of white to that so we can see it clearly. Then increase the size of this a bit. All right, increase the size of this bit and position it right here. Select all and position it right here. Let's reduce the size of the pastor's image a bit. Okay, this looks cool. All right. Now with the tone, we're going to be applying, well, more like an effect. All right, so we just want to add an artistic look to this. Okay, take up the outline of this, then Ctrl D to make a duplicate of that. Position it right beside this. Ctrl, press E on your keyboard to horizontally align that, and this looks great. Now highlight all this, Ctrl G to go. Okay, all right. Let's still fade this a bit. We want our text to be much visible on the background, so we're going to fade this a bit. All right, good. All right, this looks perfect. Then you position this right here and apply a gradient effect. Your interactive fill tool, once again, double click and drag and apply a gradient effect of yellow and white to this. Okay, great. Now the very next thing we're going to do is to bring in this lens flare. Now before we apply the merging mode, we need to fade the very edges. All right, so to fade multiple edges, after fading one side, you bitmap it. You go to bitmap, convert to bitmap. Okay, then you can fade the next bitmap. Sorry, we need to fade this very well. We don't want the edges to keep showing. Bitmap, convert to bitmap. Great. Convert to bitmap once again. And finally, we're going to fade this side as well. Excellent. Now you move to your transparency tool, click the drop down arrow and choose screen. All right, what it does is that it hides the darker part of an object and reveals the brighter part. Okay, so you can use this for applying highlights of any kind, any background that has a very bright light in it. You can use that for that and you are good to go. So you are going to position this right here. Okay, all right, this looks great. And the very next thing we are going to do is to type in the theme. Okay, so we need to use a different font for this. We are going to be using a font called TWSyn. All right, I just love using this font so much. If you've noticed by our previous videos, I've stayed consistent in just using this font. All right, and here alone, there is life. Right, good. This being done, you make a duplicate of this and type the Bible verse for this particular program. That is Hebrews 4, 15 to 16. Great. Now you scale this a bit smaller, all right? Position it right here. Then you move to your pen tool. Okay. Click here and drag. Hold down shift to have it in a straight form. Then you increase the width of this a bit to probably, all right, let's leave it at 3. 3 is okay, right? Then you apply an outline of white to this. Control D to make a duplicate. Position this right here. Highlight all. Control G to group. Control D to duplicate once again. And position it right here. Okay. Great. All right, this looks okay. The very next thing we're going to do is to draw this box, okay? Apply a gradient fill of deep blue and sea blue to this. Okay, here needs to be sea blue and here needs to be deep blue. All right. Then take up the outline of this. All right. Click on the drop down arrow. Take up the outline. Then we type our text. Sunday 25th. Right. Sunday 25th February. Which are we really going with? Okay. Okay, so we have February. $2025. Yes. Next year or this year. We are already in 2025. Okay. Just a few weeks to go. All right. So we're going to position this right here. Make sure you align them properly. The spacing as well needs to be considered. If you want your work to look professional, you need to consider the spacing between the various elements on the design. All right. Okay. Control D to make a duplicate of this. Position it right here. This time we need to scale it in length. Then apply this very color to it. Okay. A duplicate of the text as well. Control D once again. Please don't forget. Apply a color of black. 8 a.m. Right. TM prompts. Okay. This looks great. Now you can use the shift tool to scale the spacing between the text. All right. Yeah. Control K to break this apart and increase the size of the time a bit. We are looking at order of importance as well, placing emphasis on some text elements. Okay. Great. I'm going to have to increase the size of this a bit. Okay, so you're going to have to use the pen tool once again. Double click and drag right here. Hold down shift. Okay. So it should be okay. A duplicate of this as well. Then this time we're going to type in the venue. St. Mary Auditorium. Okay. Cut this out and position this right here. Alright. Now there are some videos on church flyer artwork, so you can check that out as well among the uploads. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Alright, guys, we are almost done with the artwork. It's all about balance of your images, colors, text. Alright, so we're going to make a duplicate of this as well. Bring this to the very bottom right here. Okay, this looks great. And the name of the pasta, we're going to be typing, creating a circle right here. Okay. All right. Take up the outline of this as well. Then make a copy, Control C, Control V to make a copy of that. Scale this up a bit, Control page down to send it behind. Then with your transparency tool, you're going to decrease the transparency of this to probably 62 should be okay. All right, 62 should be fine. Then you make a duplicate of this once again, or if you don't want to go through that process, you can use the text tool. But this just seems to be faster, right? Okay, so page up. Start off is Joshua. Okay, Control K to break all this apart. We're going to be using a different font for this, all right? Okay, let's see. All right. This very font called creating, all right? Creation actually demo. Okay, so it's a downloaded font. You can search it out on the net. Position this right here. Color of black as well. Position this as well right here. Scroll this down a bit. Okay. Finally, the next thing we're going to do is to type in the name of the church. Name of the church. But before that, we need to extract the logo from this. Okay, so you go to Trace Bitmap, Outline Trace, Line Out. Okay. And you give that some time as it extracts the content from the background. Great. Click on OK. Now you can delete this because we don't need this anymore. Apply a color of white to this. Color of white should work for this. Then we're going to have to position it right here. Okay. Your text tool. First, can I change this font? We definitely not going with that. Can't see anything. Freight Dominion. International. Okay. And we're going to be using this very alignment, center alignment for this. Position it right here. Okay. All right, so all these materials, there is going to be a link in the description. The images, all the items used in this design, there is going to be a link in the description where you can access them. All right. So guys, this is what we've been able to come up with at the end of this video. If it's been helpful, please do also subscribe if you are new to the channel. See you in our next video.